Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 11th episode. Turn that down. 11th episode of LBO Academy Live. This is your host. Hello, this is your host, Sierra Schugarts, and if you're just joining us, welcome. And if this is your first time joining us, let me tell you a little bit what LBO Academy is all about. So here at LBO Academy, we teach people how to build a lifestyle business. In fact, LBO stands for Lifestyle Business Owner. I wish I had like a little theme song that like popped out behind me, but this is cool. Maybe I'll figure that out for next time. So yeah, in fact, it stands for Lifestyle Business Owner. And have you ever wanted to own a business that gives you a great lifestyle? Well, that's what we do here. So we teach ordinary people how they can start from scratch, become a business owner in their community, and then automate the business so the owner doesn't have to work there every day. You don't need a lot of money and you don't need any prior business experience. So here at LBO Academy, we empower people to become successful business owners, and we show people how to make the business run without them. If you want to own a profitable business that runs without you, there's a step-by-step play instructions that you can follow, and that's what we're going to teach you here. Let's see, I'm going to move the camera a little. There you go. So today we're going to go over chapter 9, part 1 of the Lifestyle Business Owner book, titled Building a Great Team at Your Company. We've been talking a lot this week about teams and finding the right members for your company, so I thought it was fitting for today. So if you don't have time to stay through this whole live chat, go to lboacademy.com and join for free today, Free. We have over 100 course videos that will teach you how to start a business from scratch and own a small business in your community, grow its profits, then make it run without you. And that's lboacademy.com. Today, we are listening to the A-list, R&B, Apple Music, the A-list, just because I was feeling this vibe today. And right now, the song's really good. It's Waves, Normani and Six Black. It's really good. It's their single. So I've been listening to that. Oh yeah, so make sure you go to our website, like I was saying before. And even if you don't, you're just curious about it, just go in, check it out, because it's new-ish right now. So you can start your first 14 days for free. And then after that, you do a month-by-month subscription. So then you can cancel whenever you want, and you get a lot of cool access to different parts of our website. So again, you can also get the book, the LBO book, on digital download and on Amazon. So like I said in the last episode, one of my friends asked for the book for Christmas, which is awesome. So love that support. Okay, so let's get started. Chapter 9, part 1. So as a business owner, you have just inherited a staff. So this is when you're first buying a business. So when you first look to buy a business, then you have a whole crew on board, right? Because the business should already be, stabilized. So like you should already have employees and whatnot that you're just kind of taking over the business per se. So the question is who should you keep? Who should you replace? At this point, it's too early to tell. So our recommendation is to observe and learn from the business for a while. So if you come into a business too forcefully and start changing things, like the way it runs, then the employees may quit, which will force you to fill vacant positions at an inconvenient time. So if you observe, learn, and implement changes gradually, then the hope is that all the employees will stay with you because they like the direction you're taking the company, and they'll feel more loyal to you. So if you eventually find that you have to replace someone, you'll be doing it in your time frame instead of in the time frame being forced on you, which is also very good in that sense, because you don't want to feel stressed. This shouldn't be a stressful process at all. But yeah, so effective employee management. And again, I'm sorry, my eyes are wandering, but I'm looking at 2 different screens, and I just feel like I have to say that every time, because it probably is weird that I'm like not looking at you sometimes, but I don't know. This whole face thing is, I don't know. So effective employee management is crucial to your success as a lifestyle business owner. Some business owners do not like to have any employees because they think that employees mean having headaches and stress. Unfortunately, not having any employees also means the business owner will be working all the time, and that will never be able to grow the business beyond his or her capabilities. So If you want to own a highly profitable business that gives you the amount of free time you desire and provides a sense of meaning and contribution, you need to learn how to build a great team. So kind of gets to like what we're going to talk about today, the real points. So to help you master the art of employment management, I will share with you the effective employee management framework. Say that 5 times fast. Effective employee management framework. But I'm also reading it. So yeah, so there are 5 components, and to this framework. So number 1 is having the right mindset, hiring well, training your employees well, retaining your employees well, and handling employee issues and challenges well. So today I'm going to go over the first 2. So the first 2 are the having the right mindset and hiring well. And then I'm going to go over the rest tomorrow just because it was kind of long, so I didn't want to overload information. So as much as you guys love to hear me talk, I want to keep it short and quick so that I can, so that I don't bore everyone to death. I guess this isn't boring, I shouldn't say that, but it is 2 a.m. here, so like I need to sleep, guys. But I'll be home soon, hopefully. I'm thinking I'll be home around end of January, so then I can start doing it back at normal time, and then I'll be on live like 24/7, and you'll just be sick of me. So it'll be great. Can't wait for that. So component number 1. So again, we're talking about if you're just tuning in to LBO Live, today we're talking about chapter 9 of the Lifestyle Business book titled Building a Great Team at Your Company, and we're going over the 5 components. And we're only going over the first 2 today, which is having the right mindset and hiring well. So the first one for component number 1 is right mindset. So there's a mindset very popular in the traditional business world that views the business, I love this song, that views the business as a giant machine. So when the machine runs well, customers come in to the machine at one end and profits come out the other end. Hello. So I should wave to everyone. Okay. So yeah, so employees are viewed as replaceable parts to the machine. So the role of the employees is to work in this giant machine and follow the rules. Creativity and individuality are not necessarily valued. So what is valued instead is the employee's ability to follow procedures, not change anything, and work the machine the way it's designed to work, basically. So can I get a shout out? Sure. Cade516, shout out. Is that how you shout out? I don't know. Is that I feel old for saying that, but I don't really know. So again, what is valued instead is the employee's ability to follow procedures and not change anything. Again, the machine. So, and the way it's worked, basically, so when the employees feel burned out and quit, you're just hire someone else to step in and replace the employee. And it's super easy. All you got to do is just train them how to do it, right? So think about McDonald's, right? Which I literally just had McDonald's, so I got some fries like 30 minutes ago. So think about McDonald's and the experience and customer service you get every time you go into one. So even going to the McDonald's back at home and going to the one in Estonia, or even when I was little and I'd go to the one in Japan, they would all be, the same customer service, the same everything. So it's like, wow, like, you know what you're getting and you know what you expect when you're getting, or when you're going into a McDonald's, which is great. So the consistency of the McDonald's experience is one of the secrets to its profitability. And this is for a franchise, obviously. So McDonald's is a well-oiled machine. It doesn't need to rely on skilled chefs to create the greatest fries, even though they do have the greatest fries. In fact, the cooking operation is so automated that any high school kid with minimal training can push a few buttons and make you some fries. When a business is automated to the extreme, the employees are entirely replaceable. So you can operate the business mainly minimum wage workers, and there are many people available to replace an employee if someone quits. So in the traditional world of business, where profit is the only thing that matters, owning a McDonald's would be akin to owning the ultimate profit-making machine. I need to turn my, Okay, oh, that's so much better. Can't make change, but can make fries. I just turned the brightness up and you can tell, at least I could see myself better, so Not on Facebook though. I wish I could do that on Facebook. But okay, so again, so unfortunately, this worldview of treating your business as a machine and seeing employees as replaceable parts has a number of unintended consequences, although there's lots of pros. We're going to talk about some of the consequences. So one is the practice of dehumanizing. So you are no longer seeing your employees as human beings, but seeing them as simply replaceable parts in a machine. Whether your employees are happy with their jobs has little significance because you can replace them so easily. So you can work with them until they can't take it anymore, and then you can hire someone else who's willing to step in. The practice is not only dehumanizing to the employees, but also dehumanizing to the owner. So perhaps more important than how much money you make is the answer to the question of what kind of person you are becoming. So to feel a deep sense of happiness and fulfillment in your business, you need to be like the kind of person you're becoming. Wait, I love this song too. Ella May her album rocks. So, 2, this mechanism to view business robs your company of the potential for human ingenuity and creativity. So each person has so much to contribute that your business or to your business, but he or she gradually learns in an unspoken way that his or her ideas are not necessarily valued to the business owner, and that they only care about the machine parts that simply does its job like that it's supposed to. So some of the most innovative companies actively encourage their employees to work together and find ways to improve the company's operations. So yes, the employees are working in the business, but they're also helping the owner work on the business. So a lot of what my parents do, they own a bunch of different businesses, and you can only own all these different businesses if you have help, right? So my parents put their full trust into their employees and whatnot, because without them, their business could not run the way they want it to. And that's kind of what you have to do. You have to put your trust into your employees so that they feel valued and part of the company, almost like it's their own company, right? And that's how you'll get the best results too. So the employees are given the opportunity to improve their work environment and voice ideas about how the business could be run better. So when you foster a work environment that people want to work in, they will be intrinsically motivated. No number of bonuses, incentive programs, or performance reviews can spark the twinkle in your employees' eyes as when they feel fired up to work for you. And that is so true. I mean, how many jobs, or even like when you, just like the little extra things, that like you go out of the way for people, just by listening to someone, that totally can like change their perspective of like, not only who you are, but like who they're working for. And it gives them a little more respect for you as a business owner. So many large companies end up treating their employees like replaceable parts in a giant machine. So as small businesses, you may not be able to offer the same level of benefits and compensation a large corporation can afford to offer, but in order to attract good employees, show your people that you really care. In order to attract good employees, you have to show people that you really care. So good employees want to feel like they're valued, and everyone wants to feel like they're valued, especially if it's something that they're doing. People want to be happy in their work. That's why there's so many people that maybe aren't unhappy in their work, because it's like, okay, well, what is the company culture like? So that's also something that you need to think about. When you value your people as human beings and treat them well, they will feel alive. Customers will see this and choose to do business with you over doing business with big corporation. And this happens all the time. I mean, there's so many, I may be biased because my parents are small business owners, but I would much rather go to like a small business, like a boutique or something, and like buy something from them than going and buying it, like at a Marshalls or something. I don't know, like not Marshalls. I love Marshalls. That was a bad example. I guess I would say like I wouldn't go and like buy, like I would much rather like want to buy something from a small business just because, like it is a small business and like it keeps them in the family or whatnot. And I don't know. I think it's good to support small businesses out there just because they need extra love too. But again, maybe I'm biased. I don't know. But so yeah, rather than seeing their business as a machine and employees as parts in the machine, Lifestyle business owners see their business as a living organism and employees as crucial parts of the organism. So it is, in a machine, every part is dead. In a living organism, every cell is alive. You intuitively know how to treat something dead and something alive very differently. So when something is alive, you need to foster and nurture it. You need to pay attention to its environment, and you need to let it rest instead of working it to death. Yes, that was a mouthful to read. So hey, if you're just joining us, my name is Sierra again, and today we're talking about Chapter 9 of Lifestyle Business Owner, titled Building a Great Team at Your Company. So we're going over the effective employee management framework, and there are 5 different components to that. So we're going over the first 2, and we just went over the right mindset. So now I'm going to go over hiring well, which is also a very important component. If you create an awesome work environment in which people want to work, your good employees will want to stay. So if there's a good job opening, candidates will be clamoring to apply because people will talk. So if you ever complained about a terrible job, or you told friends how you aren't happy with your job, you know that word gets around quickly. And I know, especially like coming out of college, and like, oh my gosh, it was like, I don't, like if you have a LinkedIn, like people always, like message you on there like, hey, like come work for me and stuff like that. But they'll send like mass emails to like so many different people, and like, you can just like connect with your friends in whatever way, and you just like, word gets around, right? If companies are good or not. And like, there was a company that I wanted to go and work for before, and I ended up playing and whatnot, but it was like, I heard so many bad things about it. But then when I went to the interview, I was like, wow, you guys rock. Like everyone was so kind, and it was great. So like, I don't know, I think it just depends too. Like every person reacts differently to like what they hear. So you just got to make sure that you're finding what's good for you and no one else. So finding good employees is easy when you create an awesome work environment, because that's where good employees want to work. If your current company experiences constant employee turnover, no amount of how to hire good employee trainings can prevent the good employees you've hired from quitting. So without turning the vicious cycle around, you will only experience more people quitting and more open positions to fill. So fewer good candidates applying, because yes, word does get around, and more new employees who are not fully trained in a demoralizing work environment, which leads to more people quitting and the cycle repeating again. It's a big circle. So if your company has high employee turnover, you need to take a hard look at whether your company's culture, unspoken rules, and work environment are toxic. So even if you, or even in the best companies, there will be some times when someone is leaving and a vacant needs to be filled, or when the company is growing and a new position has been created. So the question is that you have to ask yourself is, how do you go about finding the best talent for the positions? And how do you find the market rate of the position you are looking to fill? So again, there are several ways to come about this. And also too, again, I'm not necessarily reading off everything from the books, so that's just going to be something that you could do on your own time. This is kind of just the gist of it, so that you'll maybe spark you to want to learn a little bit more about it. So again, if you want to learn and get more in depth about these topics, I highly recommend getting the book and signing up online, because you'll just get the full idea of it, and you can check it out for yourself. So the first 14 days are free, like we said. So yeah, talk to business owners in your industry. Look at what your competitors are paying. Ask the seller you just bought the business from. Look at your own experience. An excellent resource is Glassdoor.com. Glassdoor.com. And it's a website where employees voluntarily disclose how much their job position gets paid at their company. So now that we've talked about how much pay you should offer, let's talk about the actual hiring process. So the biggest mistake that we see small business owners make when it comes to hiring processes is basing the hiring decision on the interview. And you cannot rule out the worst candidates from the interview, but it is often difficult to tell the difference between an average candidate and a top-notch candidate from the interview alone. So much research has been done on the subject of interviews, And the findings show that the interview is only about 15% accurate at predicting job performance, and that means 85% of the time the job interview tells you nothing. So, well, that's great to hear. After going, I went on like, I want to say 5 job interviews this summer, and I was like, I don't even know if I wanted to do this job, but I just did it because I didn't know what else to do. So now I'm playing soccer, but it was good practice. Obviously, it's good practice, but that statistic just really blows my mind. Okay, so there are a number of reasons that explain why the job interview is such a poor predictor of job performance. So one, hello, Oliver. So one, your judgment is affected by the order of the interview. So if you interview 5 candidates, you will tend to remember the first and last candidates most because they make a lasting impression on your memory, which I guess makes sense. I always try to go first just because I'm like, get it out of the way, and it's easier that way. But 2, your judgment tends to get affected by impression management. So some candidates are better than others at controlling the impressions people have of them. So if a candidate compliments you, you will tend to like him or her better, which is interesting. Now I need to know to always compliment my employers. Okay, so 3rd, in an interview. 3rd, your judgment tends to be affected by people who share common things with you, and the candidate both come from the same town, went to the same school, or share the same hobby. You will tend to like the candidate better, which is also interesting. And I guess it sparks conversation and gets the nerves out, but I don't know. So 4, the sad truth is that people tend to hire physically attractive people over unattractive ones, even though it has nothing to do with the job description. So finally, some candidates will exaggerate and lie during the interview, making them sound like the most amazing candidates until you find out otherwise that they have been hired, which is hilarious because I was actually in class one time and I took this like resume and cover letter class, and they were like teaching us like the different words or ways that we should like describe our skills, and I was saying how I was like pretty good at Excel, or I said like proficient in Excel or something like that. And my professor was like, Sarah, like, do you know how to use an Excel? And I was like, well, kind of, like I've done it a few times. And she was like, well, you can't put that, like, like you can't put false information on there. Like how are they gonna know, like when you get the job and then they ask you to do an Excel spreadsheet? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I didn't even think about that. But I would say I'm getting better at it. I've practiced, and I took a course on it, so there's always room for improvement, I guess. So again, rather than making the interview the first step of your hiring process, we recommend making the interview your last step. So since the interview is only 15% accurate at predicting job performance, your hiring decision should be mostly made prior to the interview, and the interview should be used only as a confirming indicator, helping you confirm that your hiring choice is in fact the best one. So how do you make the bulk of your hiring decision without relying on the interview? And we have steps, a few steps that you should take before you ever schedule the interview. And again, these are just kind of bullets that I came up from the book, so if you want to read more in detail, then I would go check out the book. So first, review the job application, cover letter, and resume carefully. Ensure qualifications for the job are met, and look for long gaps in employment, which may require future explanation. So if attention to detail is a trait that you are looking for, check for spelling mistakes. The cover letter can also give you a clue as to how the candidate writes. That's a huge one. I spent like hours on my cover letter, and my professor kept sending it back and back and back. So that was great. I'm so glad I'm done with school. Second, call the candidate's reference before you conduct the interview. The most important reference is the candidate's former employer. So ideally, you want to speak with several former employers if the candidate has had several jobs prior to applying at your company. Be specific with your good questions, and things to ask are, were there positive things about this person, and what are the negative things about this person, and would you hire this person again? Third, administer tests and simulations that allow you to see how the candidate can actually perform job duties. So this is the closest we can get to predicting job performance short of hiring the candidate and seeing how he or she does on the job for a day. In other words, I think about job duties and devise a test to assess the candidate's ability to perform those duties. Erin does that. I don't do that. I'm not an employer. But if you need someone to be good at Excel, hilarious, that's the example, find or create an Excel test. If you're hiring a maintenance technician, test the candidates on their maintenance knowledge. A person's intelligence can predict job performance with 50% accuracy, which is way better than the 15% accuracy offered by job interviews. Well, good thing I took that Excel spreadsheet course. I can now say I'm proficient at it. But okay, next going on. If the candidate has passed your first 3 steps, you should already have had a pretty good idea of who you want to hire. Invite the person in for an interview as final confirming steps. A structured interview is more accurate at predicting job performance than a chat is. So a structured interview looks something like this, and I'm going to kind of explain that. So prepare a list of questions in advance and ask each question one by one. As the candidate answers each question, rate the response on a scale from 1 to 5. After the interview, add the scores up for each question and come up with a total score for the person. If the total score for the person is a certain number acceptable to you, the candidate passes the interview. And again, the interview should be pass-fail only because it's not good to it's not a good tool to distinguish the best candidates, from the average candidate. So as long as the candidate did not fail the interview, the passing score is enough as like a confirming step. So it is important for you to be as proactive and efficient as possible during the hiring process. And if you spot a good candidate, don't wait 2 weeks before getting back to him or her. If you wait too long, the candidate may be hired by another company. So this is especially true if you're in an industry where good talents are hard to come by. So I know you have a lot of other things on your plate, but make time to hire well and go through those resumes, call the references, administer your tests, conduct structured interviews, and most importantly, jump on the opportunity to hire a great talent when you see one. These are all extremely important. So you just gotta make sure that you're on top of your shit, basically. So if you missed any part of me talking, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get a full replay of this episode and all of our other episodes. So if you're just joining us on Facebook, be sure to like our page. I'm your host again, and today we talk about Chapter 9 of the LBO book titled Building a Great Team at Your Company, and we went over the first 2 components of the effective employee management framework, which were having the right mindset and hiring well. So tomorrow we'll talk about the other 3. Also, be sure to check out our webpage and join lboacademy.com. It's free, you guys, for the first 14 days. Like, why wouldn't you do it? At least try it out. It doesn't hurt to try. Am I right? Am I right? All right, so have a great rest of the evening, and please tune back in tomorrow.